Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. I am Sanyukta Saxena, certified Zentangle teacher. And today's session is about the Tangle Pendrills. I have already posted a teaser on my Facebook page. So Pendrills is a very organic, very fragile, very tender looking tangle, right? So it looks very highly breakable, handle with care type of tangle. So it's if you talk about the categorization, it is basically a vining tangle which just grows in any direction, just like a creeper or vines, right? So let us first see how to draw the basic tangle, and then we shall draw a tile together as we always do, using the pattern pendrils and a few more tangles to go along, right? So let's get started. So pendrils is a pattern which starts with the stems kind of shape, right? Double line stem, just yeah. And then I'm going to cap this stem like this. And then I'm going to draw a couple of eights over it, right? So what I have drawn here is something like this, just the way we draw a tangle called cruffle, right? Something like this. I'll show you again, right? So this is the thing that we are topping this cap with. So let me show you again. One stem coming out of the previous one, cap it, and then some eights, right? Or this kind of shapes, cruffle. Again dividing this into two, right? Again capping it and then drawing this eight kind of shape over it, right? Capping it and drawing eight, right? That simple a tangle. This is the tangle pattern pendrils. So it looks very delicate and very fragile, and the only thing to remember here is the stems come out of a knot. They generally don't come out like this in all the directions, right? So the further stems come out of a particular knot only. Generally that's the way to draw it, but again there is no hard and fast rule. So when you come out with offshoots, you take a knot and then you divide it, right? Like that. So that's the tangle pattern pendrils. I hope you got the shape, and what I'm drawing over the cap is something like an 8, and then again repeat one curve, right? 8 and again repeat the curve. This is the shape that I'm drawing over the cap, right? So again, if you want to play around, then you can add some leaves here and there. You can add some fescues here and there. You can add something on the stems, play around. You can add some weight to one side of the lines. So number of ways to play around is plenty, right? Let me give you some idea about how you can use the tangle in different ways. That's the basic tangle pendrils, right? It's winding tangle. So this is a recent tile that I posted on my Insta. Yeah. So it has some tangles in the background, right? An interesting reticula or grid to draw tangles, and then I have drawn pendrils over it, right? So this is another tile where pendrils is this. Again, I have added some orbs like bronze shears or probably caviars, and then rest of the tangles to go with it, right? This is again pendril with a very delicate look, a coffered look, just zigzag lines, then coffering, and then pendrils inside them with a red pen, right? So you can see how differently you can use pendrils as a filler, right? So I've drawn huggins and then used pendrils inside it, and then inked some of these stems, right? Again pendrils inside this section, some gorgeous and Knightsbridge and floors. So just a combination of tangles that gives the tile a beautiful look, right? Again pendrils very simple, coming out of cubine, just growing out, right, in any direction. And this is again with Xander, right, some Divadance and some Zenith to go along. So there's so many ways to use it. These are just few examples of tiles that I've drawn using the tangle pendrils, right? So today's session again we'll be drawing a tile. So let us try something new, right? Let us see if something we have not done already. So let us use it in that way. So I'm going to just draw a rough circle here just for my reference, right? Just to get a reference point for drawing my tangles, right? And then mark a center, something like this, right? And now I'm going to start with my pen right away with my micron and start here with double stems. So I'm going to draw a couple of double stems here in this fashion, right? So we haven't tried pendril in this way, at least I haven't tried in any of my tiles, right? So now I'm going to cap it just the way I shown you, just the way do it for poke root and poke leaves and all those things. All the tangles, they have the same stroke, initial stroke, and then a small 8 like this, 1 2 and 3, 1 2 and 3, right? Very simple. So done with the first layer. Now let us divide each of these shoots into 2 again, like this, right? So I'm going to do this for all. So the circle is just for reference so that I am more or less equal as far as the length of the shoots is concerned. The stems, you can totally do away with it, that's okay. Right? So now that we have drawn the second layer, so now I am again going to cap it and draw the pendrils. The look of the pattern is very fragile. As I told you earlier also, handle with care, highly breakable types, right? So just go slow and maintain that delicate look, right? Now that we have done that, now it is up to us whether we want to extend it more. I'm not extending it more, so I'm going to close the ends with a double line like this, right? Like this. So something like a flower that we are forming with the help of pendrils. Right? Again, just joining the heads of each of the pendrils. Right? Now that we have done that exercise, now it is up to us how do we want to use the rest of the space. So I'm going to add a touch of moon, the pattern crescent moon, little bit, yeah. So I'm going to ink this section. So these V shapes give us opportunity to play around, and there is a lot of space inside the flower, so use your imagination and let your creativity flow. Add some patterns of your choice, whatever you feel like, it's okay. This is what I feel like, right? So again I'm going to add probably 2 auras. So take your time, go slow, enjoy each stroke. Yeah, and now what we want to do with the rest of the tile entirely up to us. So let me just introduce I've drawn an inner aura, right? And then probably introduce the tangle mocha inside it, right? So please go with your go-to tangles. It's absolutely fine. You know, need not use the same tangles, right? So just filled up this space. Again, gives me some opportunity to add some ink, right? So it's entirely up to you how you want to use the space. Again, a little outline so that my mochas don't mess around much. Right, you can add any number, you can add auras, just play around, right? Again, I'm going to add one moon here, add two auras, and then add some lines. Right, I think you got a hang of what I'm doing, so I'll do one more section for you, adding an aura inside, a thin aura, just to separate my pendril from my filler tangle. Right, so again you can add one more here, one more here. If you have spaces, please go ahead, add some more mochas, your area, your space, right? Again one more. So let me just finish this exercise and I get back. So now that I have done the same exercise for all, let us add a little more drama. Add a little Bronx cheers or orbs at few places inside our mocha. So you can add simple orbs or you can add orbs and fill it in, entirely up to you. I'm just trying to bring in some drama here, so I'm inking the orbs a bit. Just like Bronx cheers, right? So entirely up to you. How do you want to go about it? Spaces are small, so you can go with simple orbs also. That's okay. So I'm just filling in these small spaces inside mocha with Bronx cheers, right? So almost done. I'm filling it in so that there's some element of drama added, right? It's okay if you don't. You can add simple orbs also, right? So that's about it. right? And then let us add another aura. So let us add a little thicker aura like this. Right? So I basically intend to cover the look, the aura, and that's why I'm adding a little thicker aura, right? And then I'm going to join these, probably here also, where there are no curves if they are too big, right? So that when I shade it, it gives a covered look, right? Yeah. Now the rest of the tile, again, it is up to us what tangles do we want to use. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to draw again my go-to tangle, but big ones, something like this, right? So you can see they are pretty big. Why? Because I want to add lines like these inside it. So go slow, take your time. First draw the spiral, and then just like you do in Marasu, instead of double lines, just divide your spiral into sections using single lines. Slight curve to the line, not absolutely straight as we do in the pattern Marasu, right? So interesting fragment. Again, I'm going to small little spaces that are left. You can easily ink it or add some bronze cheers, entirely up to you. Again, going to add one more. Yeah, and then again do the same exercise. Right? So take your time, relax, enjoy. Don't move your hand much, move your tile, as I keep saying, right? Again, another one. Here. Yeah, and good idea to put tipples or bronze cheers here and there will add to the look of the tile, right? Again, so simple fragment. You can always add other things to your printums like orbs or dots or anything like that which you feel like, right? So I'm now on the last few, done the same exercise throughout, added some printums of different sizes, and then added these Marasu kind of dividers to the printums, and whatever in between spaces were left behind, I have added small fescues, bronze cheers. So again, adding those divisions. A small tangulation to our regular printums. So just take your time and go slow and fill up the remaining space with these printums, and then you can add these divisions, right, like this. Right, so I think we are done with our drawing now. One more left here, so I will just add those dividers. This also looks very nice if you draw a square grid and then draw printums inside it and then draw these dividers. Looks nice as a fragment also. So you can use it anyways, right? So now that we are done with it, let us now move on to shading our tile. So again, I have drawn an inner aura. Now I am going to take it as a base and add my graphite inside so that my pendrils are discrete, right, like this. So just go slow and take that time. Again here, right, and then inside aura. So this is my pendril and this is the aura. So don't add too much. As you can see, the spaces are small. You don't want the entire thing gray, so add little. Again, this is my pendrils. So this aura will help you keep your pendril separate from your inner filler tangle, right? So that's why I am looking for the aura and trying to abide by it. So you can see you can use pendril in so many different ways. This is one of the ways. You can knit it into a flower or you can knit it into something else. It just grows in any direction. So either keep it free flowing or knit it into a web. This is just an example of knitting it into a flower. You can do anything else with it, right? So I think we have done that. And now some on these lines. Right. So let us shade this much first, right? So I'm now going to blend with a very light hand the graphite that I've put, ensuring that I don't blend too much and I don't touch my pendrils, and keeping the inside white, right? So take that time, go slow, don't haste up, and with a very soft hand just blend the graphite carefully, keeping the center white. So as I keep reiterating again and again, it's very important that when you shade, you have discrete white and dark portions. That's what brings up the contrast and gives depth to your tile and the tangles. So always make sure that you add gray, but you don't add so much that everything goes gray, right? So go slow, take that time to slowly blend the graphite without blending too much or too less. So now blending the next. Right, and then I'm going to blend this on both sides but not cover the center like this. right? So we will blend, but we will leave the center patch empty, like a shine, a luster, like spaces are small, so you can see I'm using the graphite already on my stub for adding that gray. Right, so now that we have blended, now let us move on to our, so I'm going to be adding chalk on one, graphite on one side, something like this, and see, yeah, I think I will go by that. So I'm just going to add graphite on one side of my printums, right, like this, so it will look like high and low. So you can also shade it differently, add in the center. Not very good idea to add on the lines here because spaces are small, right? So you can add in the center and then blend it. That would be fine too. So I'm now going to blend it. Again, don't blend too much. Let one portion be dark and the other portion be light. So we can add some chalk pencil also to highlight the lighter section. Although if you have not blended too much, the white will be discreet and you need not use your pencil, but pencil highlights it a little more. Right, so now that we have done that, let us pick up our pencil and add some highlight on the other side of the printum. Right, so just with a light hand take off the excess chalk. Yeah, I don't think we need anything else. These portions are already highlighted, but you can touch the chalk if you wish to, not required as such. Yeah, that's about it. That's our tile for today with some pendrils and some more tangles to go along, right? I'll now place my chalk here. Right, and then sign and date your tile. Today is 19th, right? So take a moment to appreciate your tile and we shall meet again with another new Zentangle original. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye. Stay safe.